Hi, Dan Collins coming to you live from the Las Vegas Traders Expo, joined once again by John Person. John's been talking about indicators, but he's been doing a lot of trading with volatility, right?
Sure, absolutely.
How is, we're coming to the day after the Dow Jones just lost 600 points. And one of the complaints from maybe a year ago was that there was just no volatility in the market. Well, the volatility's here.
Yes.
What are you doing with it?
Well, the CBOE, Chicago Board of Options Exchange, came out with futures on the VIX. The VIX is the Volatility Index, otherwise known as the Fear Index. The Barclays came out with a product called the VXX. It's a Volatility Exchange Traded Note, which in late December or early January, the note expires, and so VXX will be still the same product, but it'll be its symbol will change to VXXB. And so what we've been doing is this is a product that is based off the front two contracts futures, and if there's fear built in a market like futures, people are anticipating price moves, and so one of the products that we like to trade is a short only side model of a trading system, where because the VIX is the VXX, that is because of contango crush, it has a formula to generally go down through time. But in periods where there's stock market price uncertainty, obviously the VIX volatility rises, and you don't want to be selling the volatility product. So we're right now in buy mode, buy signals, and so we use this for two things: A, short side trade, but also as an indicator to look for a long side trade in spiders and the E-mini S&Ps, as well as maybe leveraged ETFs or an ETF on the S&P like SSO.
Yeah, I mean, an option trader shared with us, in a story several months ago, how everyone was shorting the VIX, even though it was at historical levels, because it had that tendency. So it's like go down from 10 to 12. Now we know not a good, you can, anything can go up and down, but you don't want to sell corn at $1.75. Right. Not much lower it can go, and that's how you looked at volatility.
Except for one thing, with the VXX, it's also, since it's a kind of a security, they also, when it gets down too cheap, they do reverse splits. So it's had 4 reverse splits, 4-for-1 reverse splits in its history. So it's traded down to like, say, 13 or 11. They've done a 4-for-1 reverse split. So if it's traded at 11, next thing you know, it's worth 44 the next day. So that's the neat thing. It just like kind of resets itself. So it's a very intriguing product to trade, both for a trade vehicle itself as well as for indicators to confirm maybe upside potential in the S&Ps.
Okay, well, volatility is an important part of the market, and people learning about the VIX. For retail traders, how do you think they should use this product?
Well, it obviously, with any product, there's inherent risks, and I think with anything, there's probably more inherent risk trading commodities with the leverage. And if you're undercapitalized, if you're underfinanced and undereducated, I mean, you feel most people put more time, emphasis, and I hate to be callous about this, planning a family vacation than they do in maybe educating themselves in their markets. If you're trading and you're going to want to be a trader, you should learn everything you can about that market before you put real money to work. I mean, that gives you the edge. If you think about it this way, right now on Wall Street and NYU, New York University, Harvard, and MIT just launched a PhD and a master's program in 2018. Harvard and MIT launched a master's program for data science mining. And this is specifically for hedge fund and information extraction to develop criteria and algorithms in trading. So these are the kind of things that people and hedge funds are hiring, the people they're hiring, and most people just want to start trading S&Ps and futures with no background education. Find out everything you can about a market, and yes, there's inherent dangers in everything, but I think if people are a little bit better educated in the product they trade, they still stand a real good fighting chance in the markets.
And that's why we're here. That's why we're at the Las Vegas Traders Expo, and that's why we put on these shows. You can come here and see an expert like John Person talk about indicators or about the newest markets. It's important to get that education. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for having me.